A sprinkle of gold dust could help reverse symptoms of Parkinson's disease. It seems that the ancients knew a lot about metals and using metals and the benefits to our health. A few days back, I posted a video on the blue bloods, and they found that it was copper in the blood that is beneficial for people not having as many bacteria in their entering their bodies, and it's also a health benefit because it keeps you healthier. And before that, I posted another video concerning the use of a copper pitcher to store your water at room temperature, and that it kills the bacteria in the water. And that article referenced even today that operating rooms are using copper countertops in order to diminish bacteria in the operating room by about 90%. So now this thing, and let's remember that we partake in Holy Communion from a gold chalice, or a gold-plated chalice, and a gold-plated spoon. Now, scientists are investigating whether an oral drug sprinkled with gold nanoparticles could one day treat neurodegenerative diseases like Parkinson's and multiple sclerosis. This is amazing. Amazing. Okay? A drug sprinkled with gold nanoparticles, and we know that the multiple sclerosis drugs are very expensive anyway. Now, the experimental medicine called CNM-AU8 has now shown success in boosting the brain's metabolism in phase 2 clinical trials. Research on the safety and efficacy of the daily drug is still ongoing, but the initial results have researchers hopeful. The medicine contains suspended nanoparticles of gold that can apparently pass the blood-brain barrier and improve energy supply to neurons, preventing their decline. Now, I did post here, I have here this image of the ancients studding their teeth with gold. Did they do this for health benefits or just to look pretty? That must have hurt as well. So one must ask himself. So now, we are cautiously optimistic that we will be able to prevent or even reverse some neurological disabilities with this strategy, says neurologist Peter Skudna from the University of Texas Southwestern. I'm sorry, I caught a cold from my grandchildren, or maybe it was because I was hanging up the clothes in a cold night, and I caught a chill because I wasn't wearing a coat. That's probably it. Sorry about that. Now, Parkinson's and multiple sclerosis, MS, are neurological diseases that feature signs of slow brain metabolism. This is thought to starve neutrons of necessary energy and result in a buildup of harmful toxins and unstable molecules called free radicals that can damage cells. The experimental drug CNM-AU8 is designed to work like an energy stabilizer for the brain. The choice of material might sound unnecessarily flashy, but crystals of gold nanoparticles are very different to the yellowish metal we turned into rings and necklaces. Let's remember what Moses did in the desert when he went up to get to receive the Ten Commandments from God. And down below, the Hebrews were worshipping a golden calf. He smashed the golden calf and made them eat the bits of gold. Why did he do that? Make them eat the bits of gold. Isn't that something? Now, the choice of material might sound necessarily flashy. The gold nanoparticles, different from the yellow metal we turn into rings and necklaces. The tiny wine red flecks can be cheaply synthesized and tweaked to rapidly enter cells or cross the blood-brain barrier to deliver medicine, making them ideal for use as pharmaceuticals. The modification that could be made to such drugs are seemingly limitless, and their potential to treat neurodegenerative diseases is exciting, although current studies are still mostly confined to animals. CNM-AU8 is among the first to make it to a human clinical trial. The medicine is specifically engineered to provide the brain with coenzyme critical to energy metabolism and the production of cellular fuel called adenosine triphosphate, ATP. The coenzyme is one that can exist in two forms, oxidized NAD+, and reduced NADH. The ratio of these forms in the brain is essential to maintaining metabolic balance. In patients with Parkinson's and MS, NAD+ and to NADH ratios are usually low and are indicative of the state of disease. In recent clinical trials, however, when 13 patients with Parkinson's and 11 patients with MS took CNM-AU8 every day for 12 or more weeks, their baseline NAD+ to NADH ratio increased with an average of 10.4%. That's a relatively large treatment effect, given that some studies estimate the average person loses about 0.5% to their NAD+ to NADH ratios per decade. The improvement is hypothetically sufficient enough to reverse declines in neurodegenerative disease, not just stall them, so they can reverse the decline. That's amazing. In a survey of symptoms, participants in the trial reported a degree of improvement motor experiences of daily living whilst on the drug. How the drug achieves this remains unknown, but preclinical studies on CNM-AU8 suggest that CNM-AU8 penetrates the blood-brain barrier and triggers an increase in energy production in the form of ATP. In animal studies, CNM-AU8 also seems to counter some of the signs of MS, such as the undoing damage to the sheaths that surround neurons and allow them to send messages more effectively. To our knowledge, the results at UT Southwestern write, CNM-AU8 is the only suspension of gold nanocrystals with both exceptionally high catalytic activity and very low toxicity that is being developed as a disease-modifying agent for neurodegenerative disease, they said. Now, the potential benefits shown in phase 2 clinical trials have the team preparing for phase 3. The study was published in the Journal of Nanobiotechnology. This is amazing. This is by Carly Casella on Science Alert. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.